Next up at UFC Vegas 72, we have Marcos Rogerio de Lima taking on Waldo Cortes-Acosta. These guys just love these long last names, and making these graphics was a real pain in my ass, honestly. But Marcos Rogerio de Lima, 20-8 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that submission win over Andrei Arlovsky, and he's taking on Waldo Cortes-Acosta, undefeated in his career, and he's coming off that decision over Chase Sherman. Waldo's a fun, athletic striker. He's tough as nails. He has some very real power. He does get flashy, right? We've seen him just start to salsa in the middle of a fight.
He did not like, I criticized him. He did not like that. I can't remember if that was on Twitter or where that was, but he did not like me criticizing him dancing.
Well, and frankly, it wasn't, who cares? Like, right? Be cocky, be fun, have some fun out there. But in that fight, he wasn't light years ahead on the scorecard. Like, it was
a very close fight, and he squeaked that out, and
yeah.
He said something to me like, "Oh, I'm going to keep dancing" or something. I'm like, "All right, cool."
He said, "I'm going to dance on your red grave, you soulless ginger."
He wouldn't have said that because I'd have slapped the
said
shit
it.
out of him. I'm not going to put up with that bullshit. I don't care who you are.
I bet
nobody's going to talk to me that way.
Yeah, nobody. Anyway, no, he's super athletic. He hits super.
Just kidding, Waldo. Just kidding. We're pranking you. April Fools. It's still April, right? Fuck.
He's super athletic. He does hit hard. And he has really good movement, and he's very, very tough. That Jared Vanderaa fight, his leg was hit basically with a baseball bat 200 times, and it didn't stop. He actually didn't even limp. He barely changed stances. You could not tell.
Dancing?
Yeah, you could not tell his leg was obliterated. And then he fought Chase Sherman like 2 weeks later, and we were like, oh, his leg's going to be Didn't matter. It didn't matter. It's crazy.
And Chase Sherman came with a game plan of let me beat the fuck out of this dude's leg. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter at all. But he's taking on Marcos Rogerio de Lima. This is sort of a different animal in the heavyweight division. He's almost like the Mayra Bueno Silva of the men's heavyweight division. He's there. He's going to beat a lot of people. He's going to beat a lot of people. Big for the division, well-rounded for the division. Top 5? Probably not, but like really going to give everybody.
Oh, that was a slight at Bueno Silva, and I don't like that.
You think she's top 5?
I think she's going to be a champ here pretty soon.
Okay. Anyway, he's a big, powerful heavyweight. He's got striking, he's got grappling, he's got wrestling. He's not super fast. He's not super athletic. He's like honestly the polar opposite of Waldo, where he's just relying on gritty, toughness, come forward, stay busy. But he can land heavy and he can get takedowns. He's coming off that submission over Andrei Arlovsky, but he dropped him first. He dropped him big. This is a tough fight to pick. And at one point, this was dead even. Right? At one point, as these lines are moving, it was dead even. And then Marcos is now starting to rebound, right? I saw him, I think, as low as 110 at some point, 130 when I broke him down on Sunday. Now he's up to 155. So I think it's starting to come back a little bit, and it makes sense. He's got far more fights. I mean, he's got 19 more fights under his belt. He hits very hard. He's a guy that you can't just get out of there. You know, I think, personally, Marcos is going to win because I think he's going to be able to slow the pace. I think he's going to work it against the cage, take away the flashy, take away the athleticism, because without the distance and without the athleticism, Waldo's not going to be able to compete in those clinch, those 50-50s, the clinches or anything like that. So I like Marcos to slow it down, get it against the cage, and grind out a win. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I would say that Waldo is kind of like what we thought Greg Hardy was going to be. A former athlete coming in. Waldo was a former baseball player, former pitcher, coming in and really kind of taking over with his athleticism. You saw that early with Greg Hardy, right? That works on lower level people. Your athleticism can beat technique, even in striking when you have raw power, because Waldo's got raw power as well. But as you saw with Greg Hardy, as you start working up to talent levels, you just don't have enough athleticism to beat guys that have better technique than you. And I think that's going to be the issue here for Waldo, especially with a guy like Marcos Rogerio, because Waldo is good when you give him space, right? People were blasting his legs, destroying his legs, but he was still in the fight because he had the space. He can work. He can throw those fastballs down the middle and win the judges over with that type of fight. But Marcos is not going to just stand and kind of point kickbox with this guy. He wants to get in your face. He wants to throw powerful shots. And if he hurts you or if he gets in the clinch positions, he will take you down. And on the ground, he's just as aggressive as he is on the feet. So without Waldo being able to dictate the space and the pressure and the technical striking of Marcos, I think he's going to be in trouble this fight because he's not going to be the better fighter, and his athleticism isn't going to be a factor in this fight when Marcos is just kind of all over him with the pressure. So I'm going Marcos Rogerio here. I thought about playing a money line. I think I'm going to play it a little bit different. I did play it a little bit different. I can't remember if I placed it yet, but Waldo's definitely going to be alive. I mean, he is a athletic dude that can hit hard. He's got that fastball, but I just think that Marcos is going to get in his face and maybe take him down and kind of finish him there. So Marcos is my play.
Yeah, we are identically aligned. Not only do we have the same pick, we think it's going to go the exact same way.
Joined.
And that's how you beat these athletic people. You got to take away the speed, because even anytime I've been around.
This just came in my head. The worst part about us being conjoined is that our stomach would be even bigger than, I mean, imagine like your stomach and then my stomach. It would be so big that I would have to eat while you slept to keep you full.
Honestly, you're going to come over for UFC 289. What's next? 288?
I'll probably be streaming.
No. Honestly, I'm going to cut off your streaming rights, because at that point, you haven't interacted with a human being in real life in 6 months.
I actually have talked to a couple of people at the gym lately. So I'm kind of moving on from you.
Okay, have you hung out with them?
At the gym every day.
At the gym, okay. All right, you're turning into a weird shut-in.
Well, the people love me, and that's all that matters to me.
I
am going to be one of those
they're not people yet.
TikTok
they're not people
and like just streamers that just go absolutely crazy. Like they just get soaked in. I'm going to be popular and just fucking cocaine and heroin.
No, it'll be the opposite.
Fentanyl, yeah.
No, you're going to be like that. Who's that Nickelodeon
just women
dude?
Everywhere.
Who's that Nickelodeon dude that got super famous?
Aaron Carter.
No, and then now he's on TikTok. He's like 500 pounds just plowing food. He's got that spaghetti
he does
video.
The mukbang stuff?
Yeah, he's
and
just
he went like Lily and said, I didn't know he was from Nickelodeon. I just thought
if it wasn't Nickelodeon, maybe it was Disney. No, he was like a child actor that turned into. But anyway, that's what you're going to become, because he just turned into more and more of a shut-in, and that's what's going to happen to you. Anyway, $8,600 to $7,600 is tricky in DraftKings because I don't necessarily think there's going to be a finish. I think this is going to be a boring heavyweight fight. This might look exactly like the Usman-Tafa fight. Just one guy closing the distance, trying to keep out of striking range. The other guy just bombing away, trying to make the strikes.
If Waldo gets on top like Usman does, he's going to finish the fight.
I have it the other way around. You mean Marcos? If Marcos,
yeah, what did I say?
Yeah, you said Waldo, but that's fine. I think he can as well, but we thought he would be able to finish Tafa and wasn't able.
You think that this might go to the distance?
I do. I'm not going to bet it. I'm like my
I got
point
real
here,
specific with mine. I just realized what I placed.
I guess my point here was $8,600. I don't know if he's going to cover that, because Waldo we saw how tough he is, and this could potentially be a longer, more drawn out fight. So we'll see what happens. I'll take a closer look.
I think Marcos is going to make sure that something happens in the first round.
He did that with Andrei Arlovski. So anyway, WeWantPicks.com. Sign up, become a member. It is only $10 a month for literally everything, not just the bets, everything.